Hello student, in today's class we will discuss ratio, proportion and partnership exercise part 6. Okay, let's see first index. Indexes is memory based questions. In this slide we have some memory based questions which are asked in previous year questions, then summarize our today's lecture. Now there is a disclaimer. The images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. If we respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owner of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concern or issues, please contact us at sathee@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. Now we will see some formula of ratio, proportion and partnership. Now the first formula of ratio A to B. How can we represent the ratio A to B? A upon B in fraction form, or we can write it A ratio B. Clear? What is the equivalent ratio? When two ratios are equal. So we can say that these two ratios are equivalent to each other. A upon B equals to C upon D. So we can write it A into D equals to B into C. What is the simplifying ratio? Ratios will always be in simplified form. It means their greatest common divisor will be always 1. Clear? So A upon B will be written in that form where their greatest common divisor should be 1. So we divide A and B by greatest common divisor of A and B. Now what is the mixed ratio? When we have two ratios, let x and y and m and n. These two ratio written in form of mx ratio ny, then this ratio is called mixed ratio. What is duplicate ratio? The mixed ratio of two equal ratio is called the duplicate ratio. What it means? It means if you have a ratio x ratio y, then the square of this ratio x square ratio y square is called duplicate ratio. What is subduplicate ratio? The square root of a certain ratio is called its subduplicate. The duplicate ratio should be, if it is given that x ratio y, then under root x ratio under root y is subduplicate ratio. Next one, triplicate ratio. Same way, the cube of a certain ratio is called triplicate ratio. If we given that a ratio b, then a cube ratio b cube is called triplicate ratio. In the same way, subtriplicate ratio, if we have a ratio of a ratio b and subtriplicate ratio will be cube root of A ratio cube root of B. This is called the subtriplicate ratio. What is inverse ratio? The reciprocal of the quantity of ratio is called it inverse. So if the ratio is A ratio B is given, then 1 upon A ratio 1 upon B is called inverse ratio. What is compound ratio? Compound ratio of two or more ratios says that product of the numerator upon product of the denominator. If it is given that A upon B is one ratio, second is C upon D, and third is E upon F, then we can write it in the form of A into C into E upon B into D into F. This is called compound ratio. Now we see the formula of proportion. Proportion is nothing, is just when two ratios are equal, then it is called in same proportion. Okay, when two ratios are equal, then we call them, they are in same proportion. The representation of proportion, A ratio B proportionate C ratio D, we can represent in that form. And A is called first proportion, B is called second proportion, C is called third proportion, and D is called fourth proportion. Now, when we know that A upon B equals to C upon D, then we can write it A into D equals to B into C, cross multiplication. Now, continued proportion. If A upon B equals to B upon C, then B is mean proportional between A and C. So we can represent B square equals to A into C. This is called also mean proportion, or we can say that continued proportion. So B square equals to A into C. What is direct proportion? If x and y are directly proportional, then we can say that x upon y equals to k, where k is constant. So we can write it in other form, x equals to ky, where k is constant. In the same way, inverse proportion, if x and y are inversely proportional, then we can say that x into y equals to k, or we can say that y equals to k upon x, where k is constant. Now, partnership concept. If a group of n person invested different amount of different amount for different period, then their profit is, the ratio is A into T1 ratio B into T2 ratio C into T3 ratio D into T4 x into Tn. Here, first person invested amount A for T1 period. We can say that for T1 time. Second person invested amount B and for T2 period and so on. Okay. Now let's see some questions. Now the first question is the price of a refrigerator and a television set are in the ratio 5:3. If the refrigerator cost is 5,500 more than the television set, then the price of the refrigerator. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. According to question, let the price of the refrigerator and television is 5x and 3x. We can let it because given that the ratio of price of refrigerator and television. So according to question says that if we subtracted television price from the refrigerator price, we get 5,500. So when we calculate it, we get x equals to 2,750. What is the price of the refrigerator? We know that the price of refrigerator is 5x. So we multiplying 5 into x, which is 2,750. It becomes 13,750. So C is the correct answer. Second one, let's see the an amount of money is to be distributed among P, Q, and R in the ratio 2:7:9. The total P and Q share is equals to R share. What is the difference between share of P and Q? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. This is a logical question. Okay. We don't calculate the first values of this question. First we understand the question. Question says that an amount of money is distributed among P, Q, and R in ratio 2:7:9. But in this question, this amount is not given. So how we can calculate the profit share or we can distribute the money? So this data is inadequate. So we can choose it. Information given is inadequate. D is the correct answer. Next one. If 2/3 of A is 4/5 of B, then A ratio B. You have 5 options and 10 seconds. Try to solve it. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. By using formula 3.1, we know that according to question, A multiplied by 2/3 is equals to 4/5 multiplied by B. According to question, it says that we write this equation. So from this equation, we get A upon B equals to 4/5 multiplied by 3/2, which becomes 6/5. So A ratio B will be 6:5. B is the correct answer. Next one. Three numbers are in ratio 3:4:5. The sum of the largest and the smallest equals the sum of the second and 52. The smallest number is, you have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now according to question says that these three number 3:4:5. So we can let the number 3x, 4x and 5x. So according to question, 3x plus 5x is equals to 4x plus 52. So when we solve it, we get x equals to 13. So what is the smallest number is 3x. So we multiplying 3 into 13, which is 39. C is the correct answer. Next one. If x ratio y is 2:1, then what is the answer of x square minus y square ratio x square plus y square? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now we know that ratio of x upon y is given 2:1. So we can calculate it, x square upon y square, which is 4:1. Now we can put the value of x square minus y square upon x square plus y square. So we get that 3/5. So A is the correct answer. Next one. If A, B and C is given in the ratio 3:4:7, then the ratio of A plus B plus C ratio C is equals to. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Question says that ratio of A, B and C is 3:4:7. Clear? So we can say that A equals to 3k, B equals to 4k and C equals to 7k. Clear? So we put the value in this ratio. So A plus B plus C upon C will become 3k plus 4k plus 7k upon 7k. It will become 14 upon 7k. So when we solve it, k cancel out, 7 2s are 14. So ratio will become 2:1. So A is the correct answer. Next one. Three numbers are in the ratio 1/2, ratio 2/3, ratio 3/4. The difference between the greatest and the smallest number is 36. The number is, you have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. According to question, the given ratio of three numbers is 1/2, ratio 2/3, ratio 3/4. So first we make this number in integer form because the ratio of the number it is given in fraction form. So we take the LCM of 2, 3, 4 which is 12. So we multiply 12 in all these three ratios. So number becomes 6:8:9. So our number will be, we can let it 6x, 8x and 9x. Now according to question, 9x minus 6x is equals to 36. So x equals to 12. So number will be 72, 96 and 108. D is the correct answer. Next one. If m ratio n is 3:2, then 4m plus 5n ratio 4m minus 5n is equals to. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Given that m ratio n is 3:2, so we can put this value m equals to 3 and n equals to 2 in the given ratio. Okay, so when we put the value of m, so we multiplying 4 multiplied by 3 plus 5 multiplied by 2 in numerator. In the same way, 4 multiplied by 3 minus 5 multiplied by 2, it becomes 10 plus 12 plus 10 upon 12 minus 10, which is 22 upon 2. When we simplify it, we get 11/1. What it means? It means the ratio will be 11:1. So C is the correct answer. Next one. A milkman makes 20% profit by selling milk mixed with water at rupee 9 rupees per liter. If the cost price of 1 liter of pure milk is 10 rupees, then the ratio of milk and water in the given mixture. Clear? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. No, time's up. Let's see the solution. Now, in this question, we know that milkman make profit of 20% mixing some liter of waters because the pure milk price is 10 rupees and he sell the mixture at 9 rupees price and he get 20% profit. It means he makes some liter of waters. Okay, so question says that if the cost price of 1 liter of pure milk is 10 rupees per liter, it is given. So we let it milk and water ratio is k:1. We don't know how many liter of water is mixed by the milkman, but we just let it x:1. Clear? So selling price of the mixture should be, selling price will be, mixture is total k plus 1 multiplied by 9 because he sell the mixture 9 rupees per liter. So we multiplying 9 in the whole mixture. Now what will be the cost price of the mixture? Because water is free, so only the milk price will be taken as a cost price. So we let it 10k because it given that the price of the milk is 10 rupees per liter. Now what is the gain? Gain will always be selling price minus cost price. Selling price is 9k plus 9 and cost price is 10k. When we subtract it, we get 9 minus k. Clear? So what will be the gain percent? We know that the gain percent is 20%. So we can calculate it. Gain percent equals to gain multiplied by 100 upon cost price. Gain will always be calculated on cost price. So 20 equals to 9 minus k. Gain is k, 9 minus k, upon cp, which is cost price is 10k, multiplying by 100. When we solve it, we get 3k equals to 9, so k equals to 3. So when we put in this equation, we get the ratio of milk and water, which is 3:1. So A is the correct answer of this question. Next one. If 78 is divided into 3 parts, which are in the ratio of 1 by 3 ratio 1 by 6, the middle part is, you have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now question says that 78 divided into 3 parts, which is in the given ratio 1 upon 3 ratio 1 upon 6. So first we make them in integer form, because two ratios are given in fraction form. So what will be the ratio? So we take LCM of 1, 3 and 6, which is 6. So we multiplying in 6 in all the three ratios. So we get the integer ratio in the form of 6:2:1. Now what is the middle part? So middle part is 2, and total is, when we add it, 6 plus 2 plus 1 is equals to 9. So 2 upon 9 multiplied by 78. When we solve it, we get 17 and 1 by 3. Clear? So next one is, the sum of two number is equals to 25 and their difference is 20. The ratio of two number is, you have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. First we let two numbers, which is x and y, because it is given. Then when we sum up the number, the sum of two numbers is equals to 25 and their difference is 20. Clear? So first we let two numbers x and y. Make first equation, x plus y equals to 25, x minus y equals to 20. When we calculate it, we get x equals to 45/2. And when we calculate the value of y, we get 5/2. So what will be the ratio of these two numbers, x upon y? It means 45/2 ratio 5/2. Again, these are in fraction form. So when we can calculate in integer form, we take the LCM of denominator, which is 2, we multiplying 2 in both the equation, and when we simplify it, we get 9:1. Clear? Because 5 divide 45 in 9 times, so it will become 2 and 2 cancel out, so it will become 9:1. So A is the correct answer. Next one. 94 is divided into two parts in such a way that the fifth part of the first and the eighth part of the second are in the ratio 3:4. The first part is, you have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now according to question says that 94 is divided into two parts. So first we take the first part as a x. So second part will be 94 minus x. Now move to questions language. Question says that ratio of fifth part of x, first number. So we take x upon 5, and eighth part of the second number. So second number is 94 minus x divided by 8, and it is given that they are in the ratio of 3/4. So we can equate it by 3/4. When we solve it, we get x upon 94 minus x equals to 3 multiplied by 5 upon 4 multiplied by 8. We can write it. Now we again solve it. 32x equals to 15 in the bracket 94 minus x. When you calculate it, you get the value of x, which is 15 multiplied by 94 divided by 47. And we know that 47 is dividing 94 in 2 times. So 15 multiplying by 2, which is 30. So A is the correct answer. Next one. Two numbers are such that the ratio between them is 4:7. If each is increased by 4, the ratio becomes 3:5. The largest number is, you have 5 options and 10 seconds to solve this question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Question says that two numbers are in the ratio 4:7. So we can let the number 4x and 7x. Now, according to question, when we add 4 in both the numbers, so first we add 4x plus 4 and 7x plus 4, the ratio becomes 3:5. So we can equate them, 3:5. We cross multiply them. When we cross multiply them, we get 20x plus 20 is equals to 21x plus 12. When we solve it, we get x equals to 8. So what is our largest number? Our largest number is 7x. So we putting the value of x in 7x. So we multiplying 8 into 7, which is 56. So C is the correct answer. Next one. Three numbers are in the ratio 5:6:7. The product of the number is 5670. Then the greatest number is, you have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. According to question, number will be 5x, 6x and 7 respectively. We can let it. Question says that when we multiplying all these three numbers, so when we multiplying 5x multiplied by 6x multiplied by 7x, we get 5670. So x multiplying x cube, it will become x cube equals to 5670 upon 5 multiplied by 6 multiplied by 7. When we solve it, we get x cube equals to 27. So cube root of 27 is 3. So x equals to 3. So greatest number is 7x. We put the value of x, 7 into 3, which is 21. C is the correct answer. Next one. Three numbers are in the ratio 3:2:5 and the sum of their square is 1862. The smallest number of these numbers is, you have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now what we can do, we let the numbers. So we can let it in the form of some variable. So we can let it 3x, 2x and 5x, which is sum of their square. So when we square these number and sum up, the square sum up is equals to 1862. It is given in the question. So we do the same. 3x square plus 2x square plus 5x square is equals to 1862. 3x square become 9x square, 2x square will become 4x square and 5x square become 25x square, which is equals to 1862. When we sum up, we get 38x square is equals to 1862. When we simplified it, we get x square equals to 49. So what will be the value of x? X equals to 7. So the smallest number is 2x. So we put the value of x in this equation. So 7 multiplied by 2, which is 14. C is the correct answer. Now we summarize our today's lecture. Ratio, proportion and partnership. What is ratio? A comparison of two quantities expressed as a fraction showing how much of one quantity exists relative to another. For example, the ratio of 2 to 3 can be written as 2:3 or 2 by 3. In the same way, what is proportion? An equation that states two ratios are equal. For example, A upon B equals to C upon D. Then we can say that A, B, C and D are in proportion. Now, what is partnership? In a business context, a partnership is a legal agreement where two or more individuals share ownership and management of the business. Profit and losses are typically shared based on the ratio of their investment or agreed terms. Okay, so thank you.